Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mama Big channel, and as always I appreciate everyone who comes back to watch this content with the hope that I'm always returning some sort of value in return for that transaction. For me to speak to you, to have it's not a conversation but more like trying to do research and bring it out to you lovely people. So thank you as always for coming back, and if you're new, a good way to support the channel is to hit that like and subscribe button. So today I want to talk about three things, or with three subgroups and three main groups, but it's going to be a short video. So I want to talk about the three trends that I think have solidified themselves in the cryptocurrency space as a base requirement, or the things that will survive in the future of cryptocurrencies, trends that have to be there. It's inevitable. They just have to exist. Then I want to talk about a venture capitalist. Then I want to talk about the new BitConnect. Man, this project really scares me. But you guys, I'll be waiting for your comments down in the section, what you think about it. So first, there's this article by Human Chick. Before I get into that, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but before I get into that, the trends that I was talking about are: one, smart contracts that were fronted by the Ethereum network. We can see what has happened with smart contracts, DeFi, all kinds of use cases that have come as a result of smart contracts, NFTs, decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges that deploy smart contracts, and all kinds of things that we've not even heard of. I'm pretty sure there's private projects out there that are not interested in going out into the market, but are being used by people out there that just want to utilize the smart contracts that exist, that were introduced first by Ethereum. Then the other trend is decentralized finance. I think decentralized finance is going to continue to grow into a massive animal monster ecosystem in the cryptocurrency space, and it's something that's, of course, it's never going to die out. It further widens the whole narrative of cryptocurrencies. I mean, they are based around finance, so decentralized finance essentially extends that narrative onto everyone else that is participating or is not actively participating in the cryptocurrency space, but the products somehow reach them, because that's how decentralized finance, that's how big it's going to be as it continues to grow, as a lot of brain power goes there, as innovation continues to develop this thing that we call decentralized finance. And the other thing is oracles. So oracle systems, if you look at these three technologies, of course, if you combine that with interoperability, blockchains that are specializing with interoperability, if you combine those three technologies and add on interoperability and other things, that's obviously something that's also going to be there. But fundamentally, the ones that have really now solidified themselves in the way that they have actual use cases: smart contracts, decentralized finance, oracles. Oracles have to exist, because having a way of bringing physical price data, or just data of physical products, or just big data, finding a way of connecting that data from the physical world, dematerializing that data onto the virtual world, that is the purpose of oracles, and it's not something that's going to go away. So I think those are three technologies that have right now solidified themselves in the cryptocurrency space. So the purpose is to continuously look out for trends that are solidifying themselves in the cryptocurrency space, so that eventually we try to really narrow down where things are converging. And when we try to really narrow down where things are converging, a lot of things get to be put or placed into our tunnel vision, into our perspective, and we can make better decisions in so many other things, including investment, if we want to innovate in this space, and if we want to allocate our resources so strategically that we minimize our chance of making a loss or making a mistake. So recognizing these trends is very important. So in this beautifully written article by Human Chick, published on Cointelegraph, the title is "The Future of Finance in Decentralized Finance Intelligence." So now, look at those products that I just talked about, place them in a basket. Then how can we automate these products? How can we purely make smart contracts actually smart? How can we make oracles actually smart, in the sense that they make their own decisions and they get historical price feeds, and then they aggregate that data and are able to hence make future predictions, and how do we make decentralized finance actually smart? How do we make automated market makers actually smart to help their users get the most accurate data? How do we make smart contracts actually smart in the sense that they are actually smart? They eliminate that further, because even if it's decentralized finance, there's that human interaction that's required, and the smart contract is not dynamic. It's very linear in its thinking, and it's the way it doesn't think at all, but it's very linear in the way it operates. So artificial intelligence helps to automate all that. It helps to get those technologies and fit them in a dynamic world. So essentially, that's a summary of what Human-Chic is talking about here, is how do you get machine learning, put it on top of those fundamental trends that I've just talked about, and then automate them. So that's why he talks about here DeFi intelligence and financial freedom, emphasis on DeFi intelligence. So under here, let me briefly look at this. Artificial intelligence or AI managed derivative products that will significantly enhance the investment process and onboard liquidity to peer-to-peer financial markets. Improved risk mitigation will also be an added benefit. Then he also talks about here AI mitigated risk management on decentralized exchanges that will evaluate trading situations and hedge on markets accordingly. In case you're new to this channel, in case you haven't heard of Human-Chic and you're wondering, okay, who's Human-Chic? He's the CEO of fetch.ai, which is a product that I capitalize a lot on this channel, and they're developing something, these instruments, these virtual bots called autonomous economic agents that reside within a dynamic environment to make autonomous decisions on behalf of their owners. These agents can be used in so many things like decentralized finance. They can be used to build oracle networks. They can be used in supply chains. They can be used to analyze big data. They can be used with a product called collective learning, a collective learning suite, where they allow an automated process of training big data, analyzing the most appropriate weights that are necessary for training specific data, and then allow those weights to be shared amongst interested parties. So once those parties have those weights, they can then train their other data without necessarily having to share their users' data. So this can be utilized by financial companies. This can be used by hospitals and different institutions that are dealing with data, that want to analyze their data, they want to share very good methods of how to interpret that data, but do not want to share the core origin of where that data comes from, or the owners of the data. They don't want to share that. So it's something that you might want to look into in case you're new to this channel. And of course, that's fetch.ai. They have a token called FET, which that you have to hold in order to be able to tap into all these use cases that are being built. It's on top of the Cosmos ledger, and they're building other platforms like the MetalX platform, which is a derivatives exchange, and the and an Atomics platform, which is going to be a lending platform as well. So I'll just look through the titles here. I'm not going to read the underlying details because I already summarized the focus of this writing: automating these fundamental products, oracles, smart contracts, and decentralized finance. So we can see here DeFi intelligence and interoperability. That's why I mentioned before, is quite important. Intelligent autonomous market makers, intelligent DeFi lending, intelligent insurance, and then there's a conclusion. So of course, we know the core purpose of artificial intelligence is automating the process. Because if you look at a neural network, whether it's convolutional neural network or a generative adversarial network, or you're using OpenCV to analyze images and image data, there are hidden layers in there that do calculations. So standard formulas and algorithms like the sigmoid function that you apply that you input to make these calculations. So you have to know these variables, but the fundamental formulas that you use to that you input into this machine learning algorithm to train that data. But what happens under there, it's out of our control. So that's where the hidden layers come from. I mean, after all, they say that cryptocurrency probably is the greatest innovation ever since the creation of the internet. But we shall see how it evolves. So the other thing I want to look at is this article here on Forbes, because I like talking about venture capitalists and watching what they're doing, because they say, there's this saying that watch what they do and not what they say. So we've seen certain venture capitalist firms out there and their big interest, many actually VC firms that have had a big interest in many upcoming or even already existing cryptocurrency projects. And we can see here venture giant Andreessen Horowitz, I think most people know Andreessen Horowitz, triples down on crypto with new $2.2 billion fund. So where I want you to put your focus on is where are they putting that money? So what they've disclosed for us here, Bitso, I think Bitso is the Mexican exchange. If I'm wrong, guys, do not please correct me in the comment section, but I think it's the Mexican exchange. And then there's blockchain.com, Blockify, the lending platform, Circle, and then look here, these names that are always popping up. Dapper Labs. Dapper Labs is the one that's partnered with Validation Capital, but it's also the one that is behind or partnered with the Flow blockchain. So these are the guys in charge of the Flow blockchain, which is a massive force that's really taking over the NFT space. Especially if you watch some of my old videos, you will know why I'm saying this. It's not just a random statement, but we've seen way too many coincidences with the Flow blockchain, and it won't be a big surprise to me if the Flow blockchain comes out as the emergent blockchain that's really dominating the NFT space, and that's very big for those that know the potential impact of NFTs. Then the Ledger, and another name that keeps popping up, you know, if you watch many of my videos, is Solana. So we can see here Solana Labs collectively raised, so I think these companies and Solana Labs collectively raised over $2 billion. So that's where I wanted to point your eyes onto, you know, these venture capitalists, what are they doing? As far as I'm concerned, I've never seen an article out of Jamie Dimon or JP Morgan stating something that's in favor of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. They'll either come out and start giving out things that seem like good news when everything is so high up, and when everything is down they start giving out bad news, and then in the background they're buying up as much crypto as they can. So yeah, as I say, don't watch what they say, but watch what they do. So, and guys, the final thing that I want to talk about, the thing that could be big connects, guys, I could be 100% wrong, but I'm not placing, they say never say never, but I don't think I'm placing any of my funds, at least not now, at least not as far, at least I'll wait out a couple of months, years, or I don't know. This project right here, ICP, for those that don't know ICP, the internet computer, guys, this is a project. We were in the bull market. This thing came out of nowhere. It was trading for like $400. It went to like $580. And guess what? The owners, if you look at the chart, the people that participated in the pre-funding of this project, they just dumped everything onto the market. I know a lot of other cryptocurrency projects have done that, but guys, I mean, for a project that's fronting itself to have very sophisticated technology, guys, let's look at Chainlink. Chainlink had a very nice sweet price bump during the bear market, and there were no owners or pre-owners of the token that dumped them on the market. There were currencies like Tezos that had a nice clean pump, that nothing like that happened, and yet there was a lot of hype around those projects. Now we have this internet computer thing that's claiming to have these things that are going to democratize the whole internet space, and have this thing called the internet computer, where the internet is built on top of it, so that it decentralizes everything. So in other words, if you build a website, if you build any sort of application on the internet, it already fundamentally you have those tools to your disposal, the tools to decentralize whatever you're building, and you already have a financial layer. Basically, it's like buying a new car. You already have the roads, you already have the tolls, you already have the McDonald's drive-through, whatever. So that's what they're trying to do. But guys, it does not look good when you look at a project that has come out claiming to be legitimate, claiming to be powerful, and the people that participated early in the project, after they can't even buy back. I mean, after dumping, they should have at least said, no, we've made a massive amounts of profits, but we love the project, we believe in the projects, so since we've dumped on the market, let's double our positions. And you know, that would have reflected in the price, I presume. But I mean, guys, I don't like such things. I don't like when such things happen. In case anyone from ICP watches this, or ever, I don't think they will ever will, it's not my place to cast judgment, but this is not a good look. This is not we know such things have happened to so many projects, but this is a project just doesn't come out of nowhere and then just dumps. And then you can see this person that tweeted about it. ICP is the prime example of how vesting stroke lockups and their enforceability in crypto is mostly a fugazi. It's the first time I saw this word. I think it means something that's fake or something that's sort of a fallacy, something like that. So if a project with so much capital and attention, exactly, that's what I was saying. I actually had not read this tweet, guys. If a project with so much capital and attention can get away with this just wonder what's happening with your insert any launchpad project. I think essentially the point being made here is that, guys, be careful. Be careful. Don't just look at a project that's out there fronting itself as this thing that's going to change the world, and then have yourself get burned and wrecked because the founders are they're just money-minded people that are not even concerned about the technology or even the future of the blockchain space. I mean, I don't want to sound like a hater, but too many red flags around this project. I mean, I hope they succeed and the people that invested earlier on have their profits recouped. But yeah, it's not a good look. So guys, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you learned something. I certainly did, as always. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye, guys.